We're here at the Teacher Educator Conference in Hyderabad, and I'm very pleased to announce that I've got Dr. Debanjan Chakrabarti with me, who is the Head of English Language Policy Research and Publications in India.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much for coming and taking the time out to come and speak to us.
Thank you.
Very kind of you. I guess really what I think I'd like to ask you is what your involvement has been with the conference in terms of the organisation and also in terms of maybe your wider role within the country.
I've been involved with the series of Teacher Educators Conference since its very inception, really, 4 years back. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it evolve over this period of time. And what we have lined up this year is just several notches above what we have done in the past years. The theme this year is of particular importance. It's innovation. And we have not restricted the definition of innovation to technology alone. So we are looking at innovation from various perspectives. We are almost taking a 360-degree view of innovation in English language education. So that's what we want to achieve through this conference. Vis-a-vis my role as Head of English Language Policy Research and Publications in India, this whole area of work in policy research and publications is an instance of British Council's innovation in English language teaching and education. Okay. Because, yeah.
Could you give us an example of maybe some of the publications and that you've been working on?
Well, we have...
Sir, 1 minute, please. Question one more.
Repeat that question.
Repeat that.
Yeah. Okay. What was the question? Can you give us an example of maybe some of the publications and the research that you're involved in at the moment?
Some of the publications that we have been involved in, well, they can be categorized under two broad sections, as it were. One section will be our global publications, such as innovations in pre-service English language teacher education and training. It's a fairly new publication that was launched last year in the UK, that was published last year in the UK, and we have the two editors of that excellent volume, Steve Mann and Julian Edge, speaking as plenary speakers tomorrow. At the end of that, they head off in different directions, covering 6 cities in India, 3 each, talking about the book, launching the book, and delivering talks on pre-service teacher education and training. So we are, as it were, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The other area of our publications are sort of local publications, and what we are trying to do here is make global best practice available to local teacher educators and policymakers, but in line with British Council's core ethos of mutuality and cultural relations, we are also trying to make available good local practice available regionally and then globally. So there are a couple of instances of that, and I think India leads in that in terms of our overseas operations. We commissioned English Next Impact in 2010, which is really one of our blockbuster publications, as it were, by David Graddle. But in subsequent years, we have had 2 volumes out on continuing professional development from India. We've also brought out very recently the English Impact Report, which looks at English language learning outcomes of rural primary schools in India. This was in association with Pratham Asar.
Okay. And looking to the future, what's kind of coming up? What's on the horizon for you and the work that you're involved in?
One very important strand within our work in policy research and publications is also to foster and incubate research networks between Indian and UK higher educations in the space of ELT. So we have taken a first but very substantial step towards that. We've got English and Foreign Languages University, who are also our partners for the Teacher Educators Conference here. So EFL University is partnering with Warwick University in the UK to create the first survey of ELT research in India. This again is an instance of UK and India working together, because as you know, there is a UK ELT research directory, and Professor Dr. Richard Smith of Warwick has led on that. So he is also an advisor for the India project, and we have set up this multilateral partnership between EFL University in India, Warwick University in the UK, and British Council has fostered this relationship, and we hope to expand that partnership to several other universities in India certainly, and if possible even within UK. And that is increasingly becoming a very important focus of our work in policy research and publications, because the link in between institutions in India and UK is something that is of enormous strategic importance to both countries. So we have very high-level collaborations in other areas such as sciences through the UKRE program, but we are trying to initiate similar sort of programming in broadly in humanities and social sciences, and I think in that sense English language teaching in India leads the way, because we have already started establishing these networks, we have already started producing research outputs, so we are well on our way.
Okay, sounds very interesting. Sounds like a lot of work as well.
It's very exciting work, Paul.
Okay. Just one final question. Obviously, we're in the middle of this year's conference. I don't want to worry you about next year's conference, but in terms of possible themes to explore for the 2015 Teacher Educator Conference, do you have any ideas about what you'd like to see, what themes you'd like to see?
I think there have been some, again, we shouldn't go far too ahead of ourselves here, but I think there have been some discussions with our partners, including the EFL University, and we could be looking at implementation of projects and the last mile delivery of things, because there are some fantastic strategies in terms of policy at the policy level in India, but and that's India is probably not all that unique, that the hurdle is really implementation. So that is probably something what we would like to look at in coming years, and again looking at the evidence base for implementation is something that we will be very keen to look at. So evaluation, impact evaluation and implementation could be a very interesting theme to look at.
Okay, fantastic. Debanjan, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.